Hello, family. Back to my part two of the entitlement video. um, I know you basically got the gist of what I was saying about entitlement. Um, don't ever help someone because you feel like you should, because if you do, you're going to do a half-assed. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because you love the person, you respect them, and you want to help them, regardless of who it is. And the universe will reward you. It will, you know. But that's not why you do it. But I'm just letting you know you will, and it makes you feel better. I know, like when I do stuff, I help people I don't even know, give them money or, something to eat or, whatever. And it makes me feel better because I know what it's like. Okay, I know what it's like. And it makes me feel good to know that I can help somebody, in some type of way, no matter how big or small it might be. Now, also know that if you are the person that I'm helping, we need to have an understanding. Because I've helped family members before, and I've gotten burned before, I now tread lightly. So if you were to call me and say, hey, I need help, this and that and the other, I'm like, okay, all right, what you need. Um, if it's where you say, I want to know if I can borrow $50, then I say, okay, so let me give you a little one on one with money. Okay. This kind of gets off of entitlement now and picks up with money. A little one on one with money. If you tell someone, if you say, hey, can I borrow? Borrow means that you're going to pay the person back. You're going to give them back what they're giving you. Okay? So if you say to me, hey, can I borrow $50? This and that. Yeah, sure, okay. I got it. Okay, here you go. Yeah, and I'll give it back to you on Tuesday, when I get paid or whatever. Okay, no problems. So when Tuesday comes around, not because I need it, because I'm hard up for money, because if I was, I wouldn't never gave it to you. But because you told me, because you said, and your word is your bond, you told me that you would give it back to me on Tuesday. So when Tuesday rolls around, guess what? I'm expecting you to give me my money back. Now, if Tuesday comes and goes, and Wednesday comes and goes, and Thursday comes and goes, now I'm kind of like, I'm still not going to call you. I'll give you a chance, let it play out, But now I'm thinking like, this person, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to think negative about them, but I'm starting to feel a little played now. So I'm starting to feel some type of way now. Okay. Let's say a week goes past. Then you finally call me. Well, something came up. I'm sorry I couldn't give you the money back, but this, that, A, B, C, and D. I'm gonna be like, okay, so when do you think you're gonna pay me? Oh, I'm thinking, I could pay you next Thursday, this and that and the other when I get paid. Okay. Next Thursday comes and goes. You still didn't pay me. Well, guess what? I will never loan you or let you borrow anything else again. Don't even think to ask. Don't even fix your face or fix your mouth to ask me for nothing because I am not the one. Okay? It's not going to happen. And the reason why it's not going to happen is because you lied. Okay? If Tuesday came and you said, you know what? I really don't have it. I had these bills, and I thought I was gonna have it, but I don't have it. Okay, it's fine. At least you call me and let me know. You know, you can, why don't you just wait, until, you know, let two pay periods go by and then, pay me, 3 weeks down the line or whatever, you know, or, something like that. And give me more time. I'm not hurting for it. I'm not rushed for it. So, give you some time. Or if you call me and you say, can I borrow $50? I don't know when I'm going to be able to pay you back, but I will pay you back. I just don't know when, but I really, okay, that's fine. I'll give it to you. You can borrow it. But don't lie to me because that's where it feels like, okay, this is not right. Or don't ghost me, because that's not right either. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I understand. I'm not, I'm an understanding person. I understand, okay? I wasn't always doing good for myself. There was times I might have had to borrow a couple of dollars from people, very few times because I'm a very prideful person. So I normally don't put myself in situations where I have to borrow, but there has been situations where I had to borrow. And I will tell a person, this is what I need. I never borrow more than what I need, first of all. Never, never have I ever done that. If I need $50, I'm borrowing 50. I'm not going to borrow 75. For what? I don't need 75. I need 50. So I will borrow what I need. That's first. Lesson number one. Always, always and only borrow what you need. Lesson number two. If you tell a person you're going to pay them back on a certain date, pay them back on that date. If that date comes around and you do not have it for some reason, we just don't know you don't have it, call them and let them know, hey, I thought I was going to have it, but I don't have it, this and that. Work something out with them. Most of the time, people are okay if you do that as long as you let them know, so that way they don't feel like you ignoring them or you trying not to pay them back or you just, messing around with them, yanking their chain, whatever. You know, that's number two. It's just very, try to put yourself in a situation, try to live in a situation where you don't need to borrow. Try to have some type of savings put away. Try to, um, you know, I'll say for example, okay, I have, if you can see, I have this diamond necklace. It's a diamond necklace, white gold. Okay, I also have a diamond ring on my finger. And I have diamond earrings back there. And I have emeralds. So if you have, and I also have two automobiles, uh, and a myriad of other things. Pawn shop. If you need money and you have things that you can pawn, things worth value, take them to the pawn shop and pawn them. If it's something that you really like, you're going to more than likely get that money to pay that pawn shop back to get your things back. Okay. And it also saves you from having to ask other people. You know, so it's a good thing. You just got to make sure you pay them back. But you can do that. Try to acquire things of value. Something worth value. Not sentimental value to you, worth value, worth cash. Okay. Try to do that. And that way, if you're strapped for money, whatever, you can go to the pawn shop and give it to them, and then, you work, excuse me, get your paycheck, and you can get it back. So try to put yourself But try to put yourself in a position where you won't have to do that. Try to work a good enough job, or work enough, or work maybe a little extra so you could have that extra, you know. But if you have to borrow from somebody, just make sure you pay them back, because you never know when you're going to need that person again. Because more than not, it will happen. You will need them again. And if you paid them back the first time and you come to them again, you need, to borrow something, they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. They'll give it to you, no problem, because they know you're going to pay them back because you paid them back before. That's how you want it to be. Um, Now, that's the money 101. I will say this. Over there on the East Coast, I haven't been back home for a minute. But my daughter travels over there. She tells me about how things have changed and the condition and state of affairs that's going on over there. And I will say this, I'm glad I don't live over there. I'm glad I live over here on the West Coast. Now, this is not nirvana. This is not the perfect paradise, or anything like that. It's good for us, you know. Um, what I will say is to my family, if you are over there and you're struggling, and you're working these jobs and you're making minimum wage or just above minimum wage, and you feel like you're just barely getting by and you're not getting anywhere and you're not progressing, and it just seems like, oh my God, you need to change your course. You need to save up your money, either it be income tax or whatever. Save up an income tax check. Take it and plan a trip and come over. You can come in and chill with me for like a few days, a week or whatever, so you can just see the sights and see what it's like. Go online and see the job offers. I mean, you can even go online now and look at job offers. But, Indeed.com. But you can do that, see the scenery, see if it's someplace you would like to live. Because in all fairness, it might not be somewhere you would like to live. And that's acceptable. But if you have children and you want a better life for your children, you need to sometimes step out of your comfort zone, so for the betterment of your family and your children. Now, I'm an East Coast baby all day, all night, okay? East Coast. My husband also. He's a New Yorker, so he's even more strong in it than I am. But I've been travel all up and down the Eastern Seaboard, and I love my East Coast. It will always be home to me. But now I'm over here in Washington State on the West Coast, all the way up by Canada, next to California and Oregon, just to give you guys, some type of, landmark of where I am. Because when I say Washington, some people think Washington, D.C. No, I'm not on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. When it's 10 o'clock where you're at, it's 7 o'clock over here. Okay? I'm on the Pacific Northwest, like 3 hours away from Canada. So that's where I am. Now, I came from Jersey to Florida to here, and we drove. The first time when we moved, and we moved to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and we lived there for several years. It was hell on earth. We'll never do anything with the South again, okay? I might go visit some friends or family, and after that, I'm out. And that's only going to take 2 days, and I'm done coming back. Never again. Never, ever, ever. Yeah, they did us dirty, and just can't mess with them like that no more. But over here, I will say it's good for us. 'Cause nothing's perfect anyway, but it's good for us. The jobs pay very well. They pay top dollar. For the jobs, the work. You can make very good money. You can even start up your own business, and there's a lot of opportunities over here. because Washington is like still in a developmental state. A lot of things are still developing and, coming about, you know, real easy to open up a business, to get a loan, to get a grant, and open up a business. Provided that business is profitable, you can have investors that will invest in your business. Or if you feel like you have enough collateral or money or what have you, you can start it up and pay for it yourself. But there's a lot of opportunity over here. And it is different though. It's different from the East Coast. The people are not as, let me say they're not as talkative. Like how on the East Coast where there, somebody up in your face, hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah. And in the South, they all in your business, hey, what's going on? They're not like that over here. People keep to themselves. They make it a point to keep to themselves. And I'm okay with that. But a person that likes to talk and that's very lively and social, then, it's like, gosh, these people are strange. They don't want to talk. They don't want to, do nothing. But I'm okay with that because I keep with me and my inner circle, my family. So I don't want to mess with nobody else anyway. Um, I go to work, I come home, do what I gotta do. So, um, I laugh because, my sister came over here and, she's very talkative, very outspoken, very lively, very animated. And she was like, what is wrong with these people over here? Like, they don't even want to say hi. They act like they're afraid to talk to you, this and that. I'm like, sis, that's just the way they are. And she was not feeling it. No. But Washington is good for, the scenery. The scenery is beautiful. You have, you can be somewhere. Like, let's see. I would say my daughter took me to Ruby Beach, okay? So when you're on Ruby Beach and you're on the sand, you're on the shore of Ruby Beach, okay? You look out, you see the water. You see like these little mountains that look like little islands that's out in the water. Like that freaked me out. I was like, oh, this is nice. Okay. But you turn around behind you and you see mountains. And then you look over far and you see snow-capped mountains. So you're like on the beach, but you see the mountains too. It's like where is there another place? And there might be, but for me, because it's the first time I'm seeing it, I'm like, where is there another place where I can be at the beach and see the mountains and the snow-capped mountains? Like where, like you got like a 3-in-1 type of deal. It's like awesome. It's great. The scenery, I love it. Big evergreen trees. Kind of got my allergies going a little bit, but it is what it is. It's beautiful. Um, it's really nice. It's really nice over here. The scenery is to die for. They have countryside. You know, um, only thing is you can't get in the water. Water is frigid. The water is freezing cold. If you got a wetsuit and you don't mind it, I guess you could. I'm not. The water is cold as heck. It's not water to get in. It's just water to look at. Now, if you go to a lake in the summer, people get into the lakes and, I'm not a lake person, but people, get in the lake and they swim around or whatever. So I just don't get in the water. It's not a big deal. Where I live, there's a pool. If I want to get into the water, I get my pool. We got a hot tub too, so, whatever. um, but it's very beautiful, very peaceful, very rustic. Um, it's awesome. We got the famous Acai Beach in Seattle. That the movie Sleepless in Seattle with Tom Hanks and Megan Ryan, I think that's the last name. That was filmed over here, and that iconic beach in that movie was Acai Beach. Now, I don't live in Seattle. I live an hour away from Seattle. I say, when I tell people actually where I live, I say Seattle because if I say Washington, they're like, "Oh, DC?" I'm like, "No." Then I'm like, "Seattle," and they're like, "Oh, over there." I'm like, "Yeah." So I say Seattle, but I don't live in Seattle. I would never live in Seattle. Seattle is not a place for me to live. It's too busy and it's not for me. There's nice parts, but it's just not for me. I live in Puyallup, or Puyallup, which is also South Hill. That's where I live, on the outskirts of Seattle, an hour away. Um, Very beautiful over here. A lot of white, um, but there's colors too. Um, just not as much, but there's some. Um, but it's starting to be more of a mixture, coming in, and this and that, which is good. Mixture is good, and schools are very good. Um, the work is, like I said, awesome. I work at the hospital, and it's one of the it's a very big organization, especially out here on the West Coast. So I work there, and my husband works for a very large company as well. Uh, so we've done, very good for ourselves. Um, but Washington is it's a nice place to live. I would have to say that. Coming from living in the Northeast to the South to over here, um, like I said, there's reasons why I love the Northeast. It's home. I always love home. I might one day move back over there, like getting closer to retirement. Just might retire over there. But I like it over here because of, there's just a lot to see, a lot to do if you're a nature type person. If you're not a nature type person, then this probably isn't for you. But I would at least say come and visit. Come and visit, and you might have a change of heart. You might have a change of mind. And if you don't, you can always say, well, hey, I was over there. I went to go visit. I saw what it looked like. It was nice. And, that's it. It's just a place that you've been. Um, but we have Mount Rainier. We got the waterfalls. It's a lot. It is beautiful over here. Um, you know, but I think if you've never been, you should come over to the West Coast. We plan on going to Oregon and California next year just to see, go to the beaches and go and see, go to some points of interest in those places and just see the West Coast, see what it's like in different places, you know. But I think that's all I have to say for now. Oh, reparations. I would say don't expect any. I don't think we're going to get any reparations. I honestly don't believe. California is supposed to be doing something where they're giving people 230,000 something dollars, for, giving a black person that much money, each black person. I won't hold my breath to see if that happens. But um, I really don't see it happening. Uh, there's no amount of money you can give me for the injustice that you bestowed upon my ancestors. Anyway, so anything that you would offer would be insultive because you just can't give me enough. Um, but I really don't see them giving us anything, and that's okay. It's okay. I wasn't really expecting anything anyway, so I'm not disappointed by it. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. I know for a fact, doing the ancestry and all that, my people were slaves and, this and that and the other, and, you know,
It's crystallized.
were owed certain things. And, oh, very nice. Micaiah did this. He made his own crystals. Very nice. Hmm.
It just needs 4 more days of crystallizing. Then it'll be a full crystal.
Well, put it back in the solution. My mad scientist. No. But, it's a mess. But, if you want to get something in life, you really have to work for it, and being black, African American, we have to work even harder, it seems. But you will persevere. You will get, you know, you will get through it. Just keep pushing. You will get it. You will get it. Um, but just, love each other. Let's take care of each other. Family, let's pull together and, you know, put our resources together. Let's, you know, do something to make our ancestors proud. Do something to where our kids can look up to us and we can be their idols and their inspirations instead of fictional characters and cartoons and stuff like that and movie stars and all that. No, we can be their heroes, real true life heroes. All right, fam, that's all I gotta say for now. Love y'all. Peace.